Black babies don't need to be aborted to disappear. Black babies sure don't. They sure don't need to be aborted to disappear. They just need to be born in a system that decided they weren't worth feeding. This is what capitalistic eugenics really is. It's not about abortion. It's about economic starvation sold as meritocracy. It doesn't say don't have kids. That's not what it sounds like. It says if you do, don't expect help. See, this isn't about pro-life, pro-choice. This isn't none of that. This is about a system that kills people slowly and calls it a personal failure. See, here's some examples of it. I'm going to walk you through it. The child denied disability services because the school was defunded. The mother working 2 jobs and still being told that she should have waited. The teenager arrested instead of counsel. If you survive poverty, they call you strong. If you don't, they call you a statistic. It shows up in the black community loud and noisy. He wasn't going to make it anyway. She had too many kids. That boy needed a father. The hood just drags people down. It ranks lives by how useful they are to a system not constructed by black people. If you're smart, athletic, light-skinned, straight, speak well, you get temporary grace. But if you're poor, disabled, angry, or just inconvenient, you know what? You're marked. You're marked and slowly erased. We didn't just lose the village. We started charging rent to live in it. See, here's the thing how serious the situation got. This is not about abortion. This is not about abortion. If you're going to comment about abortion, get deleted. Anti-black systems love to talk about birth rates, but ignore black infant mortality, but ignore housing, but ignore healthcare, but ignore education, but ignore joy. You want more black babies? Fund their futures. Protect their mothers. Build their cities. Birth is not safety, and survival is not freedom without any of that. I want y'all to hear it again. You want more black babies, fund their futures, protect their mothers, build their cities, because without that, birth is not safety, and survival is not freedom. See, and we enforce it ourselves. Here's how serious the situation goes. We start saying they made their bed. That's why I don't go back home. She shouldn't have had kids if she couldn't afford them. This is learned cruelty. This is a system training us to abandon our own. This is capitalism grooming black people into believing that only the useful survive. We didn't evolve, we got recruited. And now we're doing the sorting for them. See, here's the thing. Black people have value without proof, and that's the hardest story to tell. The only way out is to stop making our dignity conditional. We need to stop requiring potential to be protected. Stop asking children to prove they deserve to be born. And we can reclaim all that. Because the truth is, every black child's worthy. Every black mother deserves ease. Every community deserves abundance. And you don't fight eugenics with performance. You fight it by loving what the system ignores. That's all it is. That's all it is. See, here's what I want people to understand this. We're gonna wrap this up here. This isn't about who gets born. This is about who gets supported after. And if you don't care about life in the womb, then don't dare pretend to care about what happens in it. And here's one of the things that I want y'all to understand. I want y'all to get it, because this is important to get. If you don't fund black children's futures, if you don't protect their mothers, if you don't build their cities, birth will never be safety to a black woman. It literally is just that conversation. It's a safety issue for her child, whether or not she gives birth. People always think that it's a personal decision. No. Our community is unsafe at times. And I think that's true. Right? It is. But no one should be telling somebody they shouldn't have a child. You can talk about the safety of this world. You can talk about the black infant mortality rate, the housing situation, the healthcare situation, the education situation, the joy situation, and try to improve these people's lives. That's what we could talk about if you want more black babies. If you're that committed. But if we're just talking about, I'm just gonna have a kid and you don't have enough money, what conversation are we having? Because it isn't that she doesn't have enough money, it's that the world didn't have anything for her. Okay? And you could be mad at the world, but you can't be mad at her about this. Do you get what's going on? It's a natural human process to reproduce. If you made it unsafe for her to do so, you have to understand, it's not your job to convince her, it's your job to convince the world. So, just my quick thoughts on this kind of thing. But yeah, capitalistic eugenics is gutting us. Not even from in the medical room, But every time you send your kids to school and out into this world.